Hey everyone, and welcome back to Altitude Hoops. You can call me Vince, by the way. In today's video, I'll be going over the question that was raised recently on ESPN, of course, who's a biased network, but about if Dame Lillard's time in Portland has come to an end. But before we get into it, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video for consistent NBA talk from around the league. Now, Dame has made it abundantly clear that Portland is his home and the place he would like to stay. He signed a massive contract extension with the Blazers not too far back and is estimated to make well over $40 million a year coming up here soon. The Blazers are currently 5th in the West right now and on a 3-game win streak, all without McCollum and Jusuf Nurkic. Myself personally, I believe the NBA is better with widespread competition and constructing super teams like the Nets have been currently doing and appear to continue to focus on by signing Blake Griffin potentially. Makes the league really boring and almost unwatchable in my opinion, as it turns to a predetermined crap show like the WWE. Now, Dame is still well in his prime at 30 years old, but the time for Lillard to win a championship in Portland appears to be slipping away a little bit. In my previous Blazers video, I went into Portland's playoff history and how the furthest they got was the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors, which ended in a 4-0 sweep. The question is, can they use the pieces they have to push through to the finals? The West, of course, is very tough, and you have other teams like Utah and Phoenix entering the mix at the top of the standings. With the Blazers, although they have still been impressive considering their injuries, still are hanging around in the middle of the pack. If they were all healthy, I could see them making the Western Finals possibly. I mean, Utah and Phoenix are both unproven playoff teams, while the Blazers at least have had the experience of sending teams packing in the postseason. But do they have the pieces to get to the finals? I mean, it's really hard to say. A lot of people were buying stock in the Blazers before the season started, when they picked up Robert Covington, Derek Jones. You know, that combined with their lethal backcourt of Dame and CJ, of course, and a healthy Nurkic in the middle who can stretch the floor as well. Seemed like a pretty potent offense, and not to mention a veteran like Melo. But injuries really have robbed them the opportunity to gel together this season. There are reports, though, that CJ will be back in the lineup pretty soon, and Nurkic is progressing nicely. I mean, hey, they may all be back together by the time the playoffs start, and that's something no team will look forward to facing. But is Dame time up in Portland? Hell no. As an outsider looking in, Dame has another 3 or 4 seasons, in my opinion, to break through for that championship with Portland. I don't know if it'll be with or without CJ, but I feel that that's the time frame he's working with. Now, I do feel another consistent scorer to fill the void when their backcourt isn't shooting that well is a priority for them. You know, someone like a Zach LaVine or Tobias Harris may fill that void nicely, but with an aging Melo who's a pretty streaky shooter at this point in his career, there leaves a lot to be desired in that small forward, power forward position. But Damian Lillard should definitely stay. He doesn't give me any impression at all that he'd be looking elsewhere to form a super team, and that's a good thing. You know, ideally he should stay in Portland until he retires, but the modern NBA doesn't necessarily encourage that for their stars. I mean, ESPN will, but you probably know why. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, Dame time is the real deal, and I really hope he wins a chip before at some point in his career. But if he's happy in Portland, being competitive each season, making $40 million, I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. But thanks again for watching the video. If you like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Also link a few more recent videos to watch here if you're interested, and we'll talk to you guys next time.